Goodison Park to the Etihad for all your news and views on the Blues. Welcome back to the Thebluesidepodcast. Welcome back, Ryan.
Welcome back, Reese.
Glad to be back.
Yeah. I felt episode 1 was fun. Hopefully everyone enjoyed the Champions League episode.
Yeah, if it's made it out yet.
Yeah.
If Sky's let us get it out there yet.
Yeah. Sky put an embargo on us.
Sky are obviously like either Liverpool or United fans, obviously.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Gary Neville and Carragher on Monday Night Football.
Well, they got
all a big cabal of people.
They got Mikel Arteta there now, but they really do want to put him on.
He's good. He's on a match of the day as well, isn't he?
Is he?
I think so.
Oh, I love Mikel Arteta. He's great.
If I'm wrong.
Mikel Arteta's got the best laugh of anyone I've ever known in my life.
Mikel Arteta.
Anyway,
go on. I digress.
Let's stop talking about how we both seem to love Mikel Arteta.
He's a good guy.
I can see why I love him, man.
Yes, he's a
great guy. Yeah. So we'll give our review of the last weekend's Premier League fixtures, which in this case happens to be the derby for Everton,
Merseyside derby,
and City versus Arsenal.
Yep.
Now, everybody will know the results by now. If not, sorry about that. You should do.
Clearly don't care about.
Yeah, you clearly don't care enough about football.
Yeah.
So we're going to start off with the derby, seeing as it was the 12:30 kickoff and probably the bigger game.
Yeah.
Especially as this season's going.
Mm-hmm.
So 2-2, Ryan. How do you feel about it?
Right. So, we said on the last episode, you asked me would I take a draw, and I said yeah. So. The way the game went, I'm happy with a point. We'll take, but especially I'll get into the match and we'll pick it apart, and you'll see that I think the point didn't flatter us, but I think we got away with it by coming away with something from that game.
Yeah, well, we'll get on to that.
I was going to say we'll go through the game, and there's many issues. It's a good game. It's classic.
Unfortunately, I didn't watch it live. I watched the highlights, and the highlights were exciting.
It's got a lot. It's one of them. Got goals, red cards.
It was a proper derby.
Yeah, it was a good.
It was like a proper old-fashioned derby. That's exactly what it was.
So I don't know what it's like for a City fan, but I know as an Everton fan and other Everton fans, you get nervous before the derby. I don't know if that's same.
I get nervous before a United derby, regardless of how good I think we are.
Right, well, that was
and all the way through the match, I'm like,
right, okay.
And
so
you have that like it's a completely stupid feeling in your head. Say you're 3-0 up in the last 10 minutes or the last 5, and they score in the 88th and it's 3-1, and you go, oh my god, they're going to score straight away, and they'll score another, and then they might score another, and it's going to be 4-3, and we've thrown it away from 3-0 with 4 minutes to go.
That's just a derby feeling. Because I'm going to say that in a derby, I'm nervous before, and it's the best and worst game of the season. Because it's enjoyable, but at the same time you cannot relax for a second watching the derby, and you are literally on the edge of your seat. I have no nails left by the end of the derby.
It's crazy.
But going into this one, I'm nervous for every derby, but I'm optimistic. Even when we had
before this season,
honestly, when we had Lee Carsley in midfield, Tony Hibbert.
Is that because you just expected them to just do a Jordan Pickford on their team?
Just honestly, no matter what, going into derby, hey, I'm not have a bad word said about Lee Carsley. Him and Thomas Gravesen in centre mid.
Oh, Gravesen went to Madrid, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, so he must have been half decent.
So was Lee Carsley. Lee, you were great, and I'll have you on the show anytime. Yeah.
What about Liam Osman? Can we get him on?
Oh yeah,
he's great.
I'd be lucky to get Liam Osman on. Yeah, he's a bit of a media darling these days. He's on all the BBC stuff. Yeah.
Is he?
We're digressing again about ex-footballer pundits. Right. Anyway, yeah. I'm always optimistic because I always feel at a derby it's like, yeah, we could do it. So I was optimistic going into this one, like you said, with the team. And the team news came out, and we basically had a full strength team. So I'm thinking, yeah.
And Alisson was injured in training or something, wasn't he? Shoulder injury.
But then I looked at the rest of their team, and I'm thinking Mane, Salah, and then Thiago. I'm thinking they've got a good team. Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay getting shots ahead, but if they've already scored 3 by then, that's the issue.
Exactly. But so I was optimistic, and we put it on. It kicks off, and I'm thinking, okay, let's go. Let's get into this. Let's settle in. 3 minutes in, Mane scores.
Yeah, I know. I saw that come up on Sky Sports on the app, and I was like, oh Christ.
Come on, Evan. But in other derbies, I'd be like, here we go. This is going to be a 4-0, another goal. But the way we started this season in this Everton side, we've shown that we can score goals, we can come back. So my head didn't drop. I thought, No, it's not done. We can easily score. We can still win this game. That previous seasons, no. This season, yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
Then the ball gets played through, and Pickford absolutely demolishes Van Dijk.
Was that before 1-0?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because
So this is what happens, right? So it's 1-0. And we're not getting a foothold in the game. We started this game so cold, and the first half we just didn't turn up, and we just they to be fair to Liverpool, they played like the champions. Yeah. They did dominate us for a large part of this game. I'm not too proud to say that. We were outclassed at times in the game. But yeah, then this happens where the ball goes over, and Pickford just absolutely classes Van Dijk.
I've seen the tackle.
And then they go into VAR. Now I'm thinking they're going to VAR to see if they send them off, and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking he's off, and I'm thinking, oh my god, we'll talk about the way West Brom collapsed against us the other week. I thought we concede the first 3 minutes, Pickford's going to go off. We're down to
what minute was the Pickford? Like I want to say tackle, but it wasn't a tackle.
Oh, it's very
horrid challenge. It's like in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I've got Coleman went off after 30 minutes. It was before that, so easily. I feel like it was like 10-15, dead early on in the game. Correct us in the comments if you want. Sure you will. Yeah. But yeah, I'm watching. You've seen it, obviously.
I've seen the tackle. I've seen it a lot of times. I've clicked it. I watch it before I go to bed every night.
When I seen it, and
I don't mean that. We wish Virgil van Dijk speedy recovery.
We're not bitter. So when I first seen it, straight away I thought he's got off there lightly. Van Dijk, obviously in the news now he's got the ACL injury, so he hasn't got off lightly. But at the time,
he walks off though, didn't he? So
he walks the car park. Honestly, because
so
it changes in the car park. But the way it looked at the time is, I looked at it and I thought, he's lucky that he took his legs away from him, because if he'd have caught his standing leg and planted, it's a leg breaker. So at the time I thought, he's got him off. Look at that, was a leg breaker, but he's torn his ACL and he's going to be out for.
She's probably worse in a sense.
Definitely, yeah. Potentially, yeah.
Like Gomez snapped his leg, didn't he? When Son crippled him.
Yeah.
And he was back within 8 to 12 weeks. Something ridiculous.
No, I don't think it was that quick.
It was quite quick. It was
quick
before Pogba.
Quick for what it should have been, but I don't think it was that quick. So anyway, they go to VAR, and apparently they're just checking the offside, and he was offside. And
by like a hairline.
Yeah, and then there's no red card given.
And that's why VAR. That's why VAR is great.
The most professionals on this podcast.
Again, we wish Virgil van Dijk could speedy recovery.
So, yeah, we got away with that one. Now, clearly on social media, people are calling for Pickford's head.
They're not just calling for his head, though, they want a prison sentence for
Liverpool
GBH.
should take legal things. I've seen this, that they want basically the laws of the game changed. So he shouldn't get. If he did get a red card, he shouldn't get a 3-match ban.
It should be as long as he's injured for.
Which is funny, because we'll get onto it later about Thiago.
Well, yeah. But my point about this is, what if you injure someone by accident? Say it's 50-50. 2 people go in, 2 people get injured, which has happened before.
Yeah.
One of them's only out for a month, the other person's out for 4 months. Does that person who was out for a month who got injured have to stay out for 4 months?
This is my issue.
Which, do you know what I mean? You can't. It's a contact sport. There's always going to be injuries. Do the blades of grass have to be out when somebody pulls a hammy from running on it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know that's taking it to a ridiculous level, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I think people are going a bit too far with all that anyway. I don't know how many of them are real and how many of them are having a laugh. But
yeah, well, there could be a lot of trolls, to be fair.
That's what I'm thinking.
You know, these like Liverpool and United fans that can't like ring into TalkSport like, I support Liverpool, and they like got a London accent, and they're just like, so, and I think this, and just say something ridiculous.
But I think it wasn't a malicious tackle.
It was a goalkeeper tackle.
Yeah, it was. Well, this is it. It wasn't malicious. It wasn't premeditated. It wasn't Roy Keane on half. It wasn't anything like that. It was a goalkeeper that's already gone 1-0 down, 3 minutes into a big game. Goalkeeper that has always been questioned his ability. Yeah. The goalkeeper is well known for playing a headless chicken at the best of times.
And he's under immense pressure, not just for his Everton shirt, his England shirt.
So he's 1-0 down and he's gone. He doesn't know he's offside. Right? He's gone at him, and I feel like he's trying to do the whole make yourself big, try and put the player off.
Do the starfish sort of thing.
Yeah, but then he's also seems to have gone in with his feet. Like you say, it's a goalkeeper's tackle.
It's a goalkeeper's tackle.
But at the end of the day, it was reckless and clumsy.
This is because I get it. If it was my player, I'd feel aggravated. Like remember last year when Son injured Gomez? You were like, oh, out for
people have said this, devil's advocate. It's the same thing,
but at the same time, you have to look at it from a. I know it's hard as a neutral perspective, and that is, he's just. Jordan Pickford, like from what I've seen, isn't like a malicious lad. He didn't go out and think, I'm going to injure Van Dijk. I'm going to go in. I'm going to try and snap his leg.
This is it, yeah.
It's especially when it's a game of football and it's heat of the moment and you're at that such a high competitive level.
Yeah.
It'd be easy to make. You see players make rash challenges all the time.
There's there's all over the social media at the moment. There's Van Dijk challenges that he's made that have been bad, and some that have injured people and other Liverpool players. And it's just that it's part of the game.
Yeah. And they know this before they play.
I think the main issue is that he never got a yellow or a red card. So the fact of how bad the injury. Like if he'd done that foul and Van Dijk went off, and then it turns out he had 1-2 week injury. There wouldn't be any outcry. No one care. There'd be a bit of like, oh, Pickford, but plus there's been tackles in the derby. There's one where Gerrard stamped on Naismith, like basically on his balls.
It's like Naismith. Does Gerrard have to stay out for as long as Naismith can't have kids?
This is it, yeah. And there's been loads. It's all part of the derby. And I just think this challenge was no different.
Well, did you see? You would have done, but it was like the Old Firm derby at the weekend as well. Right. Some of the tackles in there, some of them were malicious, like they were going for it, but they just didn't happen to like injure properly.
Yeah.
But, do you know what I mean?
Well, we know this is the theme now that I like calling out footballers and ex-footballers, right? Graham Souness, right?
Oh God, Graham Souness.
He called it assault, right?
Of course.
Now, you'll be easily be able to find this. There's video going around, which is compilation of Souness's playing career and his fouls. You want to see some of these fouls?
I can imagine.
These assaults, he's stomping on people's thighs. There's one where a player's behind him trying to get him, and he's throwing elbows. Yeah.
Oh, the game was more
exactly.
like malicious, even 20 years ago than it is now. Like you talk about like Roy Keane and what was that, early 2000s.
Yeah.
I think it's as a neutral, and I say neutral, and I know like I'm obviously slightly more biased towards Everton in this situation. It's not even slightly; it's very biased towards Everton.
Yeah.
At the same time, I get it. If Pickford or say Alisson or De Gea had like kneecapped De Bruyne like that, I'd be fuming that he didn't get a red. And that's where like I agree. I think he should have got a red, regardless of his offside.
Yeah.
Because technically play was still going on.
Yeah.
Like until like the ball stops. I know it's like the referee blew his whistle, but them two did not know the play wasn't still going. And when it's a tackle that bad, I can see in certain it's happened in matches before. Say somebody's clean through, so he like shoves them to the ground, and normally that'd be a red card. But that's not really a malicious tackle. That's just shoving someone to get them off the ball.
Absolutely, yeah.
I do think he should have seen red, and the retrospective action should have been a red.
Yeah.
But not like a month ban or a 2-month ban or a 6-month ban. Just 3 games.
Yeah.
Just straight red. Okay. That's it.
Yeah. So but moving on from that, because it was one of the main talking points, but it happens very early on in the game. You could argue though, and some people will, that tackle did change the game in terms of taking Van Dijk off, because he's a good header of the ball.
And he's like the leader. He organises that.
Oh, well,
defensive
absolutely.
line.
But and according to Danny Murphy, he's the best defender he's ever seen. We'll just leave that there. No. Just that's fine. Just that. No reply is exactly, I think, everyone has as a response.
Ever.
The best defender he has ever seen.
In the Prem or ever?
World. Ever.
Defender or centre
back.
So, Cannavaro, Nesta,
Maldini,
Beckenbauer.
Even like Ramos.
Best
he's ever seen. He said it's the type of defender, if you put what you want a defender to be into like a computer generator, it would generate Van Dijk.
it would generate Maldini.
What does Danny Murphy know anyway? Calling you out too, Danny. There we go.
Danny Murphy talking about like best things ever seen. Nobody has ever said Danny Murphy's the best footballer or anything attributed to a footballer. Best passer, best penalty. Nothing, Danny. Nothing. You know what you do now? You're on Soccer Saturday. Not Soccer Saturday. You're on what's it called? You're on Soccer AM every Saturday or every other Saturday, trying to beat Jimmy Bullard's record.
How to make a failing show worse? Add Danny Murphy.
Exactly. Oh, whoa. Don't say anything bad about Jimmy Bullard. Soccer AM's great with Jimmy Bullard.
Okay.
Not with Danny Murphy. Danny Murphy can't even beat Jimmy Bullard, and Jimmy Bullard like played for lesser teams. Also, everybody loves Jimmy Bullard. Danny Murphy can go fuck himself.
Right. So moving on. Following that, the next big thing that happens in the half is we get a corner and Big Mick Keane scores.
Oh, bullet header from Mick Keane.
Well, you say bullet header.
There's no way Adrian could have saved that.
It went right at Adrian's hands.
No.
And he's clearly got chocolate wrists because it just went straight past him. But
he was like chocolate wrists, and it was a hot knife coming towards it, weren't it?
Yeah, we're not going to complain though. But then 30 minutes in, Coleman went down on one knee, and he.
Who do you propose?
Yeah, and he had an injury, so he had to go off.
How old is he now? 34. I imagine he's going to get injuries every fucking week.
Yeah, but didn't have a right back on the bench, but we had Ben Godfrey.
Big Ben
Godfrey,
Big Ben.
And he's usually centre back by trade, but I think he has played right back, and he was asked to come on as right back.
The mighty Norwich City.
Yeah, and he was solid.
No, it's Norwich.
He looked strong, and considering he's playing out of position, you couldn't tell. It didn't look like we were weak in that area.
Pretty quick.
He looked quick. He looked strong. There was one point in the game where he went on a run up the right hand side, and he was just shrugging people off. He just kept going, and then he laid it off to Richarlison. Richarlison ballooned it over. But
Richarlison. We both had you in our fantasy team this week.
-1 point. Cheers for that. But yeah, he did really well. And
so we're at 1-1 now.
Yeah, at 1-1, and then basically half time. Like I said.
But wasn't there another major talking point? Is this before half-time or after half-time? The other major talking point. Big Richie.
After.
Was it after? Okay, fair enough.
We can tell you didn't watch the game.
I watched the highlights.
Yeah.
Problem is, I didn't really notice which end we were playing that during the highlights.
So in the first half, like I say, we were fairly absent. We didn't get a foothold in the game. We just didn't look on it. There's certain players that weren't up to much. Andre Gomez, you go back to last season, he was probably our best midfielder. He looked not poor, but he looked off it. He kept playing so many balls that looked like heavy balls where he was just playing it too far in front of the player he wants to go to, and it's just breaking up anytime because we struggled to get a foothold in the game and get control of the ball, and then you give it to someone and they just knock it. And stuff. It was quite frustrating to watch, and I thought he should have broke it up. Yeah, I didn't think I'd have to say that, but when it got to about 60 minutes, I thought.
I meant to bring this up. I saw the other day someone say that James Rodriguez and Gylfi Sigurdsson is like a dream come true for that Everton midfield. I saw it on a Twitter site. I'm paraphrasing, but basically that's what they said. How do you feel about that? Who would Gylfi go in front of? No one. Decore,
we don't have to get into this now, but I'll get into it now. When we look ahead for the weekend's game, I'd be potentially for putting him in ahead of Gomez.
Who do you play this weekend?
Southampton. I don't think, like I said, I think Gomez was off it, and I think we're a competitive team now. I don't think you can have a passenger in your team. I think if you're not playing up to scratch and you've got someone like Gylfi Sigurdsson on the bench, who so far has played well when he's been called upon, and he was in away international duty and scored 2 for Iceland. So I feel like swap him. I don't think Ancelotti will, because if
something's not broke.
Well, not only that, we'll get into it later, but we've got no Richarlison for 3 games, so he's already going to have to change that squad and bring someone in. So I can't see him making 2 changes.
I mean, it could be a straight swap for swap, and you drop Gylfi to like a number 10. Just behind Calvert-Lewin, that'd be okay. Rodriguez on one wing. Who's your winger?
Richarlison.
Who would you replace him with?
I feel like he's going to replace him with Iwobi. He seems to. He's got.
But then I suppose then you have to drop out either Alan Decorio or Andre Gomez, don't you? And it's going to be Andre Gomez, isn't it?
I'd probably drop Gomez for Sigurdsson.
Wouldn't be a bad idea, that, like a 4-2-3-1 sort of thing.
So moving on to the second half. We played a bit better. We had a few chances. Rodriguez played this like amazing, like what he's been doing all the time since he got to Everton, just switching it to the other wing. Great ball, and then we played it across to Calvert-Lewin, and he had a chance and he just couldn't get a hold of it. And then there was another chance where we got played over to Richarlison, headed onto post. So we weren't absent from the game. We were looking good at some points, but then they went 2-1 up. I think we had about 18 minutes to go. No, still
18 minutes to go.
18.
2-1.
Yeah.
So down to 10 men as well.
No, not at this point.
Still not down to 10 men.
Come on, Reece.
Oh, you can.
At this point, tell Reece hasn't watched the game.
I have watched the highlights. I'd like to point this out.
So no, at this point, 11 men. That's what I mean. The game's competitive. What happens is Mina does this fucking half-assed clearance, goes out to Salah. It's the first time. It's brilliant.
I've seen the goal. It's one of those goals that just come out of nowhere, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just smash it.
It's a great goal. You can't complain too much. I feel like maybe Mina should do more. We'll get into this later about Mina when we look ahead to the weekend's games. But yeah, people are a big fan of him because he does all this dancing, and he was brilliant. He does all this stupid dancing thing. What do you mean dancing? Like literally dancing. Like literally dancing. Yeah.
What do you mean outside of the football match? You mean?
Yeah. There's like videos of him dancing
like
and
TikTok
people like it. And he was really good against Brighton. He put a shift in, but I do think he's a liability. And if we want to challenge for top 6 top scorer, you can't have liability.
This is a different sort of mindset than last week.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
How different? What a difference one game makes.
So yeah, we go 2-1 down, but ahead and drop. We still get into this. I do want to point out, like Pickford had a very mixed game because he got the red. He didn't get the red card. He committed the red card foul. But he pulled off 2 great saves. One for a free kick by Arnold. It was a good save. Yeah. And then Neville Southall-esque for Matip's header. No, yeah, we laughed at me for this when we talked about this.
I was just saying, you could have like said Buffon-esque or Casillas-esque or Manuel Neuer-esque, and you went for the great. No, I was going to say Latham, but he's still alive. The great. No, yeah, he might not be very. The great Neville Southall.
Yeah. Now you may think that
I don't dispute is a good goal.
Any Everton fan that's listening to this, once again, hi mum, will know what I mean when I say Neville Southall. Neville Southall is a great shot stopper, and that save was great. Now, maybe some City fans that watch football through the 80s will remember Southall.
I know Neville Southall.
What it was like for me, it was,
your best ever goal.
Neville Southall, yeah, easily. So he had to get to it, but he managed to get his hand behind it and scoop it, like almost out the goal. And I maybe never was a goalkeeper, so maybe people like, oh, that's bread and butter for goalkeeper. To me, looking at it, that was a phenomenal save. And that's the thing with Pickford is it's you got like a devil and an angel on each other. He's can be brilliant at times, and then he can be so frustrating. The devil comes out too often. He loses his head a lot. He seems to have an issue with concentration. It feels like sometimes his concentration has dropped. But
I think that's why he gets beat on his near post so often, because the concentration dips.
Yeah, but it was a good save. But yeah, we never looked out of it, and then Calvert-Lewin scored again. It was a brilliant header. It was a great header. The height he got, and you've probably seen the pictures, but it just and the clip, it just looks like Robertson thinks, I'm not getting that high. There's no chance.
Well, Robertson's not tall to start with.
Yeah.
And then even no matter how high he jumps, Calvert-Lewin can jump high anyway. So Calvert-Lewin's got a few good 6 inches on him.
It was great goal.
And then including like the jump, like fucking huge, man. Like there's no way. Yeah. Robertson could have had like jet boots on, and he probably wouldn't have finished it.
Some people are pointing out, Van Dijk was on the pitch. Maybe. I think it's a good point.
Ifs and buts, sweets and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas.
Exactly. I think I think Calvert-Lewin still would have the jump on him, but I think Van Dijk's got that physical presence that might
have put him off a bit.
Exactly.
It definitely might have put him off a bit.
But yeah, again, whatever the fuck you said. So yeah, it's 2-2, and again, it's anyone's game.
Yeah.
We're having chances, they're having chances, and then Richarlison. There's only about 5 minutes left. Richarlison just
decides his
head's gone.
He's just like, I saw what Jordan did. I want a piece of that action.
There's no need in it. I think he has got this in his locker. Is just.
Have you noticed how nobody, on paper, like I say on paper, when you watch it, it looks a little bit worse than Pickford's or as bad.
Yeah.
And you notice how nobody is saying anything about the Richarlison tackle because nobody got injured. But if you look at it, studs up.
Oh, don't know about that, Reece. I think you're too far away from the Everton Liverpool Twitter.
Not like an ACL is what I mean.
Oh yeah. But there's plenty of people that were called.
That's what I mean. I'm not saying that he didn't get injured. I mean, like, it wasn't like a season
yeah.
injury.
I think, people have been giving Richarlison death threats and stuff.
What I mean is, you've not seen on Twitter or you've heard on the thing of people saying, "Oh, he deserves like GBH charges or like legal action."
I don't know. There's probably a few Liverpool fans
that
cover that.
What I mean, if you went on Twitter,
yeah,
or you went on the news,
yeah,
it would all be that Jordan.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because Pickford didn't get a red. That's the only reason.
Well, but that's what we said before, wasn't it? It's the fact with Pickford's challenges, the fact it went unpunished.
Yeah, 100%.
Whereas Richarlison, it was a bad challenge. He got sent off. It's now coming out. I think Thiago might not be injured at all, or a bad knock. So that you're not going to get a big backlash from that. But again,
here at the Thebluesidepodcast, we just like to say we're happy that Thiago isn't injured.
Yeah, we are. Yeah. We'll get on to the goal in a second. But there wasn't a goal in the end, actually. But yeah, it was just stupid. He's got that in his locker of being a bit of a hothead every now and then. But it's just so frustrating because
there was just no need for it, was there? It was in the middle of the pitch, when it was
there's no need for it.
No danger.
It basically right there and then that's it. You've got to settle for a draw now.
Yeah.
You're going to be stupid going
100%.
Going all out attack with these 10 men against this Liverpool side that are dominating.
Yeah, you were struggling with 11 men.
Yeah. So that was frustrating, and then
how long's to go? About 5 minutes.
It's about 5 minutes.
Is this without
normal time?
Normal time. Yeah. So you look at close to 10.
Yeah. And so I think okay, and at the same time, even with 10 men, I'm thinking we're not out of this. We've got the quality now to go the other end.
Yeah.
I'm thinking we can still win. And then Thiago plays this ball without looking, and it's well classed, this ball, and then goes to Mane, and then Mane puts Henderson through and he scores.
Yeah.
Because
like we just needed 2 more minutes.
It's not only that, it's the fact that on the base of it, looked like Pickford could have done better.
Oh,
he
flapped it a bit, didn't he?
You're thinking, this is not the first time he's cost us a derby in the last minute. Thinking,
the Origi one. Oh,
so straight away you're thinking, I'm smashing the house up. And then they're saying, checking for offside, and then they're showing it on the screen. I'm getting a bit excited. I'm thinking, and they're seeing him. They're not marking it offside. What's offside there? And then I'm looking and I'm thinking, well, his elbow might be offside, and I'm like, well, you can't score with your elbow.
So surely it's not offside.
Yeah. I'm looking at it, and then
it's taking longer and longer.
I think the commentary team get weird at first. They're like, wait, are you in here? They decided it's offside, no goal, and then I'm like, I celebrate. I'm not ashamed. I celebrated it like a goal.
I celebrated it like a goal when I watched it on the replay. I was like, it was like the Leonardo DiCaprio meme.
So that was basically it, and I think we got away with it really in the end because.
Yeah,
I don't think 3-2 would have
100%. Bluntly, you got away with it massively.
Yeah,
I mean 3-2, but if John Pickford gets sent off early doors, you could be
exactly
in for it.
On the base of it. I think 3-2 would have been deserved. I think we got lucky with a 2-2. I'll absolutely take a 2-2.
In the history books, it's not going to say, they were lucky to get a 2-2 draw.
Oh yeah.
And you don't know how important that point's going to be at the end of the season.
Exactly. And for yous...
for us, it's like changed our whole mindset.
It means now they've dropped the same amount of points.
Yeah, last week, before we drew with Leeds, in my head, I was like, we've lost the game. And then we drew against Leeds. At this point, Liverpool have won all of their games. I'm like, oh, Christ. I was like, we're already going to be like 10 points behind before we've even played a match in hand. Then they go and lose 7-2. then they draw 2-2. Van Dijk's out, and all of a sudden it's just like, we may not be out of this race after all.
Exactly. So yeah, on the base of it, made up with a point. 2-2, I think, sort of flattered us.
Do you think Pickford should have been sent off?
Yeah, if like, I'm not sure
for the tackle that you've seen, regardless of the offside.
Tackle a red card? Yeah.
Regardless of the offside,
yeah.
Did you feel that you'd swindled your way out of a red card?
Yeah, it was reckless and dangerous. The point I made is it's not malicious. I don't think he wanted to hurt him, but it was clumsy and reckless.
100% agree with that. 100% agree with that.
So that's the Merseyside derby.
It was a lot to unpack there.
Yeah. So
it's probably the most exciting derby that's been for a few years.
So now we'll cover 2 minutes on City versus Arsenal.
We're back in the race. We're back in the race, ladies and gentlemen. We're back in it.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. So, if you remember last week, I said I couldn't see us beating Arsenal. Yeah. And I said, we'll either lose or draw, I'll take a draw. Mm-hmm. And I think I actually said, if we do win, it'll be by one goal. It'll be by one goal. Yeah. So, I was correct. It was only by one goal. However, it's not the win that I was happy about. It was the way we played. Mm-hmm. Now, on the face of it, if you check the stats, they're very similar. Arsenal had like similar amount of shots, similar amount of targets, similar corners. We had a bit more possession. Doesn't look like we bossed the game, but I felt like we bossed the game. Like, especially that second half, there was only 1 point in the whole second half where I felt, we might let goal in here. And that was some cross came over, and Aubameyang was about to get on the end of it. Yeah. And now he's quite tall, he's fairly good in the air, and now say someone like John Stones was there, or Otamendi, they wouldn't have got there. He'd have nodded it in, it'd have been 1-1. Big Ruben steps up to the plate. This hunk of a man steps up and just goes, fuck off. Smashes this like header away. I'm like, he can edit. Like, we've not had a defender that can edit. Like, even Laporte, as tall as he is, isn't like super strong in the air. He's good in the air, but he's not like super strong. And I think this game showed the difference another good centre half makes, because Laporte didn't play. Yeah. Because I don't know where. Probably injured. Probably his knee's gone again. Yeah. And I'll be honest, I can't tell you what our formation was because I don't know. Yeah. Like, have you seen the team?
No, I don't think I have.
It was I saw it on Twitter. This picture of what like a pundit had said the team was. Look, can't get it. Maybe it's on here. I'll show you, and then if I can show you, I'll put it on the YouTube channel anyway, so that people can see everything in the podcast. I'm afraid.
Go and check out the YouTube channel.
Go and check out the YouTube channel. Go and subscribe, like, and comment. I can't find this picture. Anyway,
that was an exciting minute of podcasting.
It was an exciting minute of podcasting. We did some promotional work, so that's fine. Yeah. Anyway, it was like, like Edison, then Diaz on his own. Then it was like Ake, and then we had like Rodri, and then we had Walker, and we had Cancelo. It was a weird formation, man. So we had, I think it started off with Edison in there, and then we had Ake, Diaz, Cancelo, Walker. Now, every City fan thought Cancelo was at left back. No. Ake was at left back. Yeah. Sort of like a wing back. Yeah.
He did alright.
He did really well. Yeah. So we had him at left back. Cancelo at right back. He never played at right back. He was just down that wing, bombing down constantly, adding a little bit of sauce, a little bit of spice, as Chris Eubank would say. Doing some step overs, doing some outside forward crossing. He looked great. Yeah. Walker at centre back. No, it's not his strongest position, but
he can do a job there.
He can do a job there. Yeah. Rodri, Foden, Bernardo. Bernardo probably brought back his 18-19 form. Yeah. So 19-20 was a dip for Bernardo, and I think that had a lot to do with that whole incident of the picture he put on Twitter. Do you remember? That. I think we're going to just stay away from that, just because there's no right answer to it. Yeah. I don't think it was right. Yeah. But they were very good friends, and Mendy never said he had an issue with it. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of people that were complaining about it decided to put it upon themselves that they were allowed to be offended by it, even though they were most likely super, super, super white. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I can't have an opinion on it because I don't know what that's like. I don't, but there was a lot of Twitter warriors that came out that day. A lot of like, Trump supporters probably. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, so I think that was a big reason for his dip in form because it was a big attack on him. He got punishment for it, and imagine walking around thinking, "Oh, everybody thinks I'm a racist. Everybody thinks bad things about me." Even if like the mate you did it to is like, "I don't think that," you'd be like, "Yeah, but
absolutely."
Loads of other people did. So Bernardo, I think, was a big miss last season, even though he wasn't injured. So I think if Bernardo comes back in the same form, it's like getting a brand new player again.
Yeah.
And he turned up. He usually turns up to big games, but he really turned up this weekend. Foden played well, mainly in the first half. Second half, he dipped down a bit, but that's fine. He was the reason for the goal. Don't know if you've seen it. He like sort of tiptoed through. He's usually quite good in front of goal. He's usually quite cool under pressure, and he just seemed to snatch at it a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe he's still having a bit of a knock-on effect from the whole Icelandic girl incident. Yeah. Which, just have to say, Foden, absolute lad, mate. Absolute lad. I think we'd have done the same in your situation. Not him, he's married, it's fine. And then Sterling can seem to put it into an open net with his left foot, so maybe he should have just hit it with his left foot against Leon. I think that's really all there is to unpack. Again, there's videos of Pep, shouting at players what to do. You can see how the movement sort of opened up play, and I think it was a testament again. Arsenal played very well against another big testament to Arteta. Obviously a very good manager. I think he'll do really well at Arsenal.
Future City manager?
I hope so.
Yeah,
I do. Yeah. I think it would be the manager after the next manager though.
Yeah.
Like I think if Pep goes in the summer, I think it would be someone like Pochettino or Nagelsmann, the RB Leipzig coach. Young, he's only like 32 or something, but he's really good, really attacking. It'd be someone like him, and then maybe when Arsenal still haven't won anything because they're not giving Arteta any money.
And you're lucky no Arsenal fans are listening to this.
Yeah, and you've got like Aubameyang leaving because Real Madrid can offer him like something Arsenal can't, which is competing and money. No, all joking aside, it was a good performance. It felt like watching old City.
Yeah.
As in not like pre-2008. I mean like City from like when we won it 2 years ago. That City, they were composed, they were calm. They played well, and what I was happy about is that we looked a threat going forward because Aggie came back, Big Coon came back, Big Aguero looked good, looked sharp-ish.
Yeah.
Looked good, looked sharp enough. But it was just we were missing that someone there, always like an option there, and get it and not lose it. He could keep hold of it. And he's hard to knock off the ball and create space for the players. Sterling can't do that. He hasn't got that mindset of a striker, which, although he scores a lot of goals every season, it's always like from the wing cutting in, or he'll drift into the middle and somebody's not expecting him there. He doesn't have that striker's mindset of where to make the run, when to make the run, when to pick up the ball, when to sort of turn. He doesn't really have that. It's a big skill that only top strikers have. And I think people see like certain wingers scoring a lot of goals every season, just assume they're as good as the striker, but they're not. They can't play often through that middle. They don't know what to do, and I think that's a big weakness in Sterling's game. But it's not really a weakness because he's a winger. And if a winger's scoring 30 goals a season, how can you say he's weak in front of goal? He's not weak in front of goal. But no, it was a very, very good team.
You feel more confident for the rest of the
season? I feel more
now?
optimistic now because, like you said, we're now in the same position as Liverpool.
Exactly.
We have a game in hand, so we're technically still 3 points behind. But if we win that game,
that's what I mean. Yeah.
And Liverpool are now starting to, I think, personally, they're starting to lose that sort of armour of invincibility. You see cracks in it.
They've lost Van Dijk, obviously, and
that'd be a
Alisson's going to be out for a little while again. And someone did say it's you're going back to a Liverpool side there a few years ago, so not a Champions side.
I think people forget that that Liverpool used to score a load of goals, but just conceded loads. And that was their big.
But the issue was always the goalkeeper and having like a solid centre half. But like Villa have shown this season with Van Dijk in the team, you can put goals past them.
You can put goals past them, yeah.
So it just should be. It's been a good start to the season.
I think both the Everton match and the Villa match showed that someone like Alexander Arnold, as fantastic as he is going forward, can't take anything away from him from that. He's still got weaknesses defensively. So does Robertson. But these wing backs are so used to not having to defend that when they do have to defend, the position's a bit off. And I think there was a moment where down the wing, Alexander Arnold just sort of stood there, and I think that's where the goal came for Calvert-Lewin. He just like, a proper right back would know. I honestly, Tony Hibbert, big Tony Hibbert wouldn't have let that cross, do it. No, I know we're talking about Liverpool, but I think Alexander Arnold will just be moved up to a right mid eventually. Anyway, enough about them. Don't care about them. A lot more optimistic. I think a lot more City fans in the City community is more optimistic after that performance, because it wasn't just a good team performance. We had the new guys played well, and Ferran Torres didn't. I don't think he even came on, or if he did, it wasn't for long. Ake looked good, looked solid. Diaz looked exactly what we needed, and it's exciting to think that our defence would now be someone like Walker at right back. We've got Diaz and Ake. Well, we could have Diaz, Laporte, and Ake at left back. Potentially. I think that was the big worry before the season started, not having a good left back.
Yeah.
And now Cancelo can play there and he's decent, but Cancelo looks really good in that right bombing forward.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see Cancelo starting to come into his game a bit, and you think, oh well, he can push Walker now. And when Walker gets pushed, that's when Walker plays his best. So no, it was good. I think for both of us, it was a pretty good weekend. All things considered.
We'll take points all day long. So shall we preview this weekend's game?
Let's preview this weekend. So who are Everton playing?
We're playing Southampton.
Home or away?
Away.
I
did my research for the show. So like I've said before, I don't take any games for granted. I think every team's, especially the way this season.
Where's Southampton in the league now? That's a good question. I thought you did your research.
You look it up and have a quick guess. I'm going to say 13th.
You're going to say 13th?
Yes.
Okay, let's have a look. Football tables.
Podcast listeners just.
12th.
See, there we go. I did my research.
Only above Newcastle by one goal.
Yeah, there we go.
Difference. It was a good effort. That.
But yeah, the way this season has been going, I don't think you can take any team for granted. Southampton are coming off the back of a 3-3 draw with Chelsea.
A very good point, that.
Yeah.
Very well.
I don't know what you can draw from results with Chelsea at the moment this season, because they drew 3-3 with West Brom. I know West Brom went 3-0 up against them, and Chelsea came back.
Chelsea are doing worse than they did last season, start-wise.
What they're doing, this Chelsea side, is they're very good going forward, but they're abysmal at the back.
They blew the load this season on attackers.
Did you see
the budget?
Any of the goals for the Southampton Chelsea match?
No.
Oh, there's one.
I think I've seen Werner's first goal, but
I've seen Southampton's goal. Kurt Zuma plays.
I was going to say it's Keperin.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Oh, it's just abysmal defending. And it's like you can't defend like that and
expect
games almost and be a top team. So the results against Chelsea.
If you're going to get punished by Southampton, imagine when you come to. Well, they got punished by Liverpool and they played. They lost 2-0.
Yeah. So like, it's hard. Like 3-3 draw against Chelsea is good on paper, but wouldn't draw too much from that. I've done my research.
And Everton are in better form than Chelsea. Like it's okay to
absolutely,
So it's not saying anything outlandish there.
But I did do my research, despite what you might think, and they've had I'd say an average start to the season. So they opened up with a 1-0 win against Burnley, which is good. Like we said before, Burnley are a hard team to beat, so a 1-0 win.
Can't win, but hard team to beat.
Yeah. And then they got demolished 5-2 by Spurs. Spurs on the back of a 1-0 defeat to Everton.
Oh so it's when Sonny and Kane got all the points for fantasy.
And then they lost 1-0 to Palace.
Okay.
And
was he at home or away? Do you know?
no idea. Didn't do that much research. But yeah, obviously opening first 3 games of the season, Palace were doing quite well. So, and then they beat West Brom 2-0, and then they got the draw with Chelsea. So
mixed.
Yeah, they've had a mixed opening to the season.
Probably as good as they were kind of hoping for. They probably hope for a few more points. Yeah, it's not like an abysmal start.
No. So last time we played them was in July, and we drew 1-1. No, we were awful. We started. I had a little look at the squad before, and midfield's rough.
Was it rough?
Yeah, very rough. So they're coming up against a completely different Everton side.
Yeah.
Wouldn't put that game into any context. Completely different Everton side, different midfield. Now the thing to preview for this game is Richarlison's suspended, so he's out.
Yeah.
Now personally, I would also want to drop Gomez.
Yeah. For Gylfi.
Yeah. Now I don't think he will.
This is such a big change from last week.
Right, so I'm not Carlo Ancelotti, so this is what I do, and Carlo Ancelotti will do none of this. But
I mean, why wouldn't he? He's not got much pedigree, has he, as a manager?
So I don't know. I haven't checked the situation on Coleman. So saying that Coleman was fit and could play and wasn't injured, I'd take Mina out and put Godfrey straight in.
Okay.
I don't think that's going to be the situation.
How long is Coleman out for?
I don't know. I haven't heard a proper update yet. You usually don't get a concrete one until later on in the week.
Do you even know what the injury is?
No, not a clue. I did my research.
Is this going to be another catchphrase?
This is a new catchphrase.
I did my research.
Yeah, I did my research. But yeah, I feel like Coleman might be out because he went off against West Ham in the cup before the international break.
Yeah.
He didn't go on the international break.
Right.
Because of the injury, and then he went off 30 minutes in this, so I think he might be injured. So I think more than likely it's going to be Godfrey playing right back again.
Yeah.
With Keane and Mina in the centre, and then Lukadir on left. But if Coleman's fit, I'd start Godfrey. I'd drop Gomez for Gylfi, and then you've got to replace Richarlison. Now, I think I think he will play Iwobi because he seems to have confidence in them. A lot of people calling for Anthony Gordon to start. Now he's a young lad.
Yeah, I remember you
He looked really good in the cup. But you've got to remember we've had players like this in the past. You've got to just look at Tom Davies. Who was he thrown into it too quickly, and then you get your confidence knocked. You've got to ease these players in.
It's alright getting thrown in, and then you have a good start. Your confidence
exactly.
as soon as you start
starting them against Southampton, replacing Richarlison. I think that's a lot to ask of a young lad.
Yeah.
I'd rather see him on the bench and give him the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, especially if you're winning against him, it takes the pressure off.
Exactly. Now another call is Bernard.
I forgot about him.
Exactly. A couple of seasons ago, him and Dean linking up on the left was really good. Yeah. So I'd be tempted to do that, and I don't think he will. He just seems to favour. Well, you know what managers like; they have their favourites and stuff. Every manager like that. So I think Richarlison will be replaced with Iwobi. I don't think he will drop Gomez. I think he'll keep Gomez, and I've just got a feeling Coleman's going to be out, so I think Godfrey's going to start right back. So that team's not bad.
Yeah.
And if Gomez is on form and it was just an off week, then that's a solid centre three. Iwobi not great. We discussed this. He's not a 35 million. He's not a replacement for Richarlison.
35,000 maybe.
But I do think
that's probably more than what he's on a week as well.
I do think that team on paper that I've just listed, even with no Coleman and we've got a centre half playing right back and you've got Iwobi on, I think that team can beat Southampton.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%.
So confident.
You've got a strong. You've got a strong foundation.
Oh yeah, you've got world class players like Rodriguez in it.
Those 3 midfielders that you bought in there, that's good enough for your spine, isn't it?
And then when you got someone like Rodriguez, they can just create something out of nothing, like a little world class moment. So. And
when you got Calvert-Lewin,
I was going to say world class. Calvert-Lewin, his form at the moment
is world class.
Is world class, yeah. So I'm confident of a win. That sounds weird to say, isn't it, Tony? But I am quite confident.
We're going to clip this for when they get beaten.
We got the 4-1 a few seasons ago when
Southampton have this ability to just turn up and just smash someone.
When Ronald Koeman got sacked.
Was it at Southampton?
I think so, yeah.
So he lost to his whole team.
I think so. Correct me if I'm wrong. It might not have been. I'm not sure if
the current Barcelona manager.
I think we lost them, but I'm not sure if we got battered by Arsenal and we got at home.
Yeah.
It might have been a big defeat against Arsenal and we lost that. Correct me. But yeah, although I think we're gonna win, I'm gonna say this every week in terms of I think we can score goals, but I also think we can see goals. I think that's gonna happen in every game this season. I'd be surprised we keep clean sheets this season. But I'd also
already got one against Spurs.
Yeah. But I'd also be surprised
that you only one.
Yeah. Yeah. We could see the 2 against West Brom.
Yeah, that was 4-2, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2 against Brighton, 2 against...
Was that 5-2, Brighton, or 4-2?
No, West Brom was 5-2, Brighton was 4-2,
yeah.
Palace was 2-1. So we conceded 7 goals, I think. Sounds about right. And then even against Fleetwood, that was 5-2.
And Salford.
No, it was 3-0. Kept clean sheet against Salford.
Oh, was it Fleetwood the blunder?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
the 2 blunder, yeah.
Anyway, getting back on track. Got off on a tangent there. Yeah, but I was just going to go with my score prediction. I think it's going to be 2-1. 2-1
Okay.
Everton.
I'm gonna give my score prediction. I think Everton will win 3-1.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to go with, 3-1.
Okay. So, do a City playing?
I think Danny Ings will get that goal.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Well, do City playing then?
So, a team at the start of the season, which I thought would be easy to just blow away, especially like prior to the season starting, they were in massive disarray. They were talking about players going on strike because they weren't going to get paid. However, West Ham have been a bit of a surprise so far this season, have they not?
Just coming back off a 3-3 draw with Spurs, 3-0 down.
It's not just the 3-3 draw. They've had some crazy results so far. So the first game of the season lost 2-1 at Arsenal. I expected Arsenal to like absolutely wreck them.
Yeah, they were unlucky in that game, weren't
they? Yeah, they had a few chances.
I remember that game.
Anyway, 3rd round of the EFL Cup, the Carabao Cup, smash Hull 5-1. Hull, they're in what league are they in now? Championship, League 1.
I think they might be in League 1.
Yeah, they've dropped down a few, haven't they?
Let us know, Hull fans.
If you're here,
you lost.
Anyway, next match, Wolves. Strong team. Strong team. Although I did predict they'd have a rough season. Obliterate Wolves 4-0. 4-0. And then
I think on the last episode we said it was Leicester though.
Yeah, well, no. Leicester, they beat 3-0 at Leicester. They beat Wolves 4-0 and Leicester 3-0.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they went to Leicester. This is the week after Leicester, like, wrecked us 5-2 and won 3-0. Is that not? Yeah, and then this week, they lost to you guys.
I was just going to say, you're saying about the
Carabao they got 4-1.
We beat them 4-1 in the Cups.
Yeah. Anyway, apart from that sounds like a score I was expecting. And then at the weekend, just gone, 3-0 down to Tottenham in the 81st minute. They were 3-1 down.
Yeah. And
then it goes to 3-1.
Yeah.
3 minutes later, 3-2. 2 minutes later, Bale runs through on goal, tiptoes around, produces a bit of magic. You'd have bet your house on him putting it in that bottom corner and just puts it wide. And it's from the distance he's at, it's quite wide. It's not even like scraping the post. It's, but I think that is showing that he's like rustic.
I was just saying, he's not going to be match fit, he's not going to be match sharp. As we're going to see the real Bale in a few weeks.
Well, you saw like when he twinkled through, that was like Bale.
That front three is going to be scary.
It's going to be scary for everyone. The only saving grace is that Bale will get injured.
What I thought was funny is when they were 3-0 up, I've seen a lot of things on Twitter saying
they're going to win the league.
Yeah, fancy Spurs outside of the league, and now it's 3-0.
Well, people were saying they've got the best front three in world football, weren't they? That might be a bit of a stretch, but yeah, maybe not even the best front three in the league, but certainly one of the best three. And then what happens in like the 90th minute?
Did you see that Lanzini goal?
That is an incredible goal. That is like a. When you see like these videos that go to like lad bible, it's like a Sunday league and somebody just smacks it and it happens to go in.
The celebration was great as well.
Yeah, especially when there was like no fans there. I thought that was a bit weird.
But I think when you score a goal like that, because you get
in the minute you're out as well.
Yeah, you get those like Balotelli when he never used to celebrate, and sometimes Ronaldo doesn't because he knows he's that good. But when a player scores a brilliant goal, like it's like when we scored on Friday.
Yeah, exactly.
It was nice to see, and it was.
It was an incredible goal. If any of you have not seen this goal yet, go and watch it. It is. I can't see it not winning goal of the season.
I'm just going to say it's probably the best goal I've seen so far.
Should win the Puskas Award.
It was such a good
goal. Incredible.
Bold statement by Reece.
I mean, when you
that.
when you take into account the minute and what it meant.
Oh well, yeah. In context,
especially at the end of the season, West Ham stayed by 1 point.
Yeah.
Like, even more so.
Definitely.
But yeah. However, next is us. However,
it's strange because, like I say, on paper, you didn't know those games. You'd think City will smash.
Yeah. It's at West Ham as well. City have a very good record at West Ham.
Yeah.
I think it was something like, at one point, the 3 games we played them at the Olympic Stadium, we'd scored like 11 goals or something ridiculous, or more, or something like that. Now we play them away. We play them at the weekend. I think we'll smash them. Yeah. I'm going to make a bold prediction. I think we'll win 3-0.
3-0?
3-0, easy.
Wow.
Clip this because it's going to be 3-0 to West Ham.
Yeah. What my prediction?
Well, before that, I'm going to just tell you one other thing. West Ham are above us in the table.
Yeah, but you got a game in hand on them.
Got a game in hand, but they've got a goal difference of 4 more than us. Did you know at this moment in time, I think it's Aston Villa have a goal difference of 12 or 13.
I think
it's 13. It's 12, and Everton have a goal difference of 13. No, sorry.
I think we've got 7.
No, goal difference is 7 for Everton. Aston Villa have a goal difference of 10. I was reading the points.
Yeah, and Liverpool got 0.
And City got 0.
Yeah. Good.
Can you imagine telling that to someone last year? You'd be like, no. So the dangerous going forward, but they got smashed by Everton 4-1. They've still got it in them to get wrecked by a team. I think as well as the playing, and I really like West Ham. I like the fans. I like the club. I like everything about them. I think they know they're riding that wave, and eventually it's going to crest.
Yeah.
Is that the right word? Is this
crest? Yeah. We'll say that. Yeah.
Are there any surfers out there? Let me know.
So it's hard because before I knew those results anyway, but thinking just a David Moyes team setting up against the top 4 sides.
I forgot about Moyes. I don't think Moyes has ever beaten us since United days.
I was going to say, I think we did you a few times.
When he was at Everton, he was at both.
I was going to say,
to win there.
I remember Moyes' record against City.
It was a bit unfair.
But yeah, the way he's going out and he's getting points off like Wolves, Leicester.
These are points that he probably in his head didn't think they could pick up.
These are points.
Or one point here and
they're
there.
going to matter a lot near the other end of the season, like saying that they're near the bottom. Saying that though, I think he's absolutely demolished them.
Yeah.
I think as well. But I don't think. Did you say it was 3-0?
I said 3-0.
I don't think so. I think he'll concede. I just think
3-1, 2-1. 2-1's not demolished.
2.
Oh, so both of us think by 3 goals.
Oh, the thing is, absolutely smash them.
Before you should probably know this. De Bruyne's injured.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You're only playing West Ham.
Laporte's injured as well, I think, and Jesus is injured, but everyone else is, I think, fine.
No, I think, like I say, I think he will. I can just see it. Like I just feel it. He should demolish them. But the way teams seem to be defending these days, I can't see them not getting any goals in reply. I reckon they might get a couple.
I think Big Ruben Diaz.
Well,
will have something to say.
Well, we'll see. I'll.
Watch, this is when he becomes Prime Vanguard. And by Prime, I mean
I just
his very
realised
worst.
my first prediction for the Everton game for the derby was 4-3, 7 goals, and then my prediction for this City game was 5-2, which is 7 goals. So I'm clearly just picking score lines that add up to 7
goals. Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, what did I predict for Everton? Did I predict?
I don't know.
Go back.
Rewind it.
I feel like
I predicted the draw.
I did. I think I either said 1-1 or 2-2.
Therefore, didn't say 2-2.
I think I might have said. I think I definitely picked a draw with goals.
I think you did say draw with goals.
I'm gonna find it from the last one and clip it in.
I was quite bold. I said 4-3.
Yeah, you had a cheeky bet on that though. Yeah, how much was that? I got you.
£1,500.
For £3 was the bet.
Yeah. I had Michael Keane to score and everyone to win.
When Mick Keane scored,
when he scored, I thought that bet's on. But remember, guys, gamble responsibly, and when the fun stops,
stop. That's the message from the Blue Side podcast.
Yeah, definitely.
See, the fun stopped, and he stopped after that £3 bet.
Yeah,
he lost, and it was no longer fun.
The fun stops the second we do that joke. So I think is that everything?
I think that's us wrapping up. What's you think 5-2? I think 3-0. I said you'd win 3-0 against Southampton.
Yeah, I said 2-1.
And you said 2-1.
I think you said 3-1.
Did I say 3? Oh yeah, sorry, I did say 3-1 because I said Danny Ings would score.
Yeah.
So I think we both think our team's going to win.
Yeah.
Which means that next week's
going to lose.
Yeah.
Can't wait for next week.
We're going to just, instead of like being a really nice episode like next week, it's going to be like a really depressing one. It's just like, we both lost. I'm like, we're not going to win it anymore. I said last week we were back in, we're out of it again. But yeah, I think that sort of wraps it up.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, hoping you are enjoying it. This is the more usual format for the standard Premier League episodes that we're going to do from now on.
That's true. None of the like having to go through all the transfers until we get to January and we get to the transfer rumours. That's going to be fun.
Special transfer.
We'll
be set up. You know, we're not amateurs. Don't look at the YouTube video. Look at our mic stands.
Yeah.
If you listen to the podcast, I imagine the setup sounds fine.
Yeah, we look professional now. We've got like 2 mics, 2 headsets, a mixer.
Yeah.
What could go wrong?
All of this is definitely plugged in. We're in the next 5 minutes of audio before.
They'll never know.
This is going in. Because you probably won't listen to this part. You've already turned it off, haven't you?
This won't make it as a podcast, but I showed my dad yesterday and he was like, it's like an hour and 20. I was like, yeah, it's a podcast. I was like, do you know how podcasts work? I was like, nobody puts on a 5-minute podcast.
Right, so we really will wrap it up.
We really will wrap it up because we want to get home.
We do, yeah. So yeah, it just remains to say, follow us on social media, get involved with the conversation on social media.
Just type in the Blue Podcast on either Twitter or Instagram, it'll come up. Type it into YouTube, it'll come up.
Yeah.
We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, Deezer.
Everywhere you can find a podcast.
But there's one that we're still not on, isn't there? What are we waiting for?
We're waiting for a few. I'm going to put a tweet out and I'm going to explain all. And then find us on the YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe, all that stuff.
Yeah, if you're an Everton or a City fan, please get in touch.
Spread the word, get involved.
Our email is under the link on the YouTube channel. If you ever want to look at it, it's Thebluesidepodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah,
fairly straightforward. And yeah, I guess until next time.
Oh, I thought of something. I have to clip this out.
I'll do it again. And I guess until next time,
always look on the blue side of life.
Doo-doo.